because I don't know how many people really understand what securitization is. It's been around for a while now, since the 80s. But essentially, you know, before everybody was computerized, it was hard to sell a loan at a bank. It had to be a really big loan to make it worthwhile. And then you had to check the documentation and go kick the tires and do all the things. So to get a loan off your books as a bank in 1960 and 1970 was a big deal. But when we started to package things in computer files, you could then just set a bunch of files that have commonality, like mortgages, for example. And you could say, all right, let's take all the mortgages that have a zip code of X, and inside the zip code, all the residential mortgages, and all mortgages between $400,000 and $700,000, and you put them in a box, and it might turn out to be 5,000 mortgages. So you just slap a label on it and say, okay, this basket of mortgages contains 5,000, and there's a description of them, and I'm going to make it a security, and it's one security, and if you want to buy it from me, you buy it. So we've securitized a block of loans effectively. Well, mortgages are not the only thing you securitize, but that's one of the things that led to the blow up in 2008. People were buying securitized mortgages, and they really didn't know what the hell they were buying. A guy in Iceland buys a basket of mortgages, doesn't really know what they are, but he knows they pay X, and that was one of the contributing factors. You know, if you went to a bank in 1965 and you wanted a mortgage, it was a big deal. It was the financial equivalent of a proctological examination. You know, they looked every place. He said, you know, tell me about your job, what's your career path, because they were going to hold that mortgage for 15, 20, maybe 30 years. But now, while they give you the mortgage, some guy's putting it in a file and putting it with 50,000 others and slapping a label on it, and it's getting sold. Well, car loans are the same thing. Car loans and RV loans. And what's starting to happen is car loans are starting to erode, and that's what we're seeing. So there's a branch or a basket or a folder, a subfolder of subprime loans that are focused on car loans that are starting to smell.
Well, this was the whole 2008 debacle, bundling up all these bad loans, securitizing them, selling them as AAA because there were so many of them, and yeah, make it all work.
Yeah, that's exactly how 2008 occurred. People started buying these basket of loans, these securitized loans. Securitization was a big factor. And now we've got, from what I'm starting to read, securitized auto loans are a big deal. And another thing, last week, I guess it was Wednesday or Thursday, the biggest Google search, the most popular Google search was, help me with my mortgage.
Right. I saw that.
So that's not a good sign. So there are signs, and it's, you know, we don't really get data while the government's shut down. Not that we really believe the data in the first place anyway. So the markets are in a position where we're not so sure what this economy is doing.